Is there nothing more beautiful than the waves lapping on shell-lined shores? Is there nothing more beautiful than the wind winding through the reeds? Is there nothing more beautiful than the osprey diving for its meal?
I can tell you the blue heron's more beautiful.
What? What?
Yeah, take that, Osprey, you
Eat
bug-eyed
that
freak.
shit, Osprey.
Oh, that gave me chills. That gave me
So cool with all your 5-star
chills.
matches.
Oh my god!
It came from a land of brutality and evil. It came from terror and fear.
I hear you in a whisper, calling me through the reeds. The wind sweeps, the waves bury me. Blood and dirt, flesh and rain, it's mud all the same. Before rivers, before bones, old like the marshlands, old like the marshlands, old like the marshlands when they heard their name.
Sing for a broad, train that shall not be spoken.
Hey, welcome back to Blood on the Reeds.
Blood on the Reeds.
Blood on
Blood on
the
the
Reeds.
Reeds.
Our Old Gods of Appalachia campaign that is not in Appalachia, but in the marshlands of Maryland and a little bit of Northern Virginia. Today we are joined by Rachel Kordell.
Okay, so it seems I am alive? I don't know how. But I am Laura.
Andrew Frost.
Hi, my name is Vernon Hodges, and this reminds me of a time in the mountains where I found an elk that had 2 antlers that were actually made out of human flesh.
Oh, very soggy antlers.
Ah, flopping all over the place.
Oh,
wet.
God.
Tasted delicious, though.
Special guest Nate Brass.
Hey, what's up, Internet? I'm playing Chet, and my ass works again.
Hey, yo!
That ass could always work.
Declarative. I love
Nothing
it.
like a working ass.
Casey Reardon.
I play Elmer Fink, and man, I really hope John was spitting on his fish before he caught him, because that's how you make sure that you get a nice bounty.
What?
Okay,
Yes.
I believe
You gotta
it.
spit on your
Don't you
fish
know?
before you catch him. That's how you make sure you get a good bounty.
How do you spit on a fish before you catch it?
What? It's in the water.
You gotta do it, though.
Spit on the water.
Nope, on the fish.
And finally, Seth Coveyou.
Hi, I'm playing John Douglas, everyone's favorite waterman and reader of The Jungle by Ulysses. It seems if there is a good lord, he has taken my boat and pissed in my cereal. This shit sucks.
And I don't think I'm Sky Swanson, your creature preacher for this broadcast.
Yay!
Hey!
Yay.
All right. Should we talk about what happened last time?
Let's
Yes,
do it.
please.
We introduced 2 brand new heroes. One, John Douglas and Vernon Hodges. Vernon, searching for his missing son, somehow knew that his son was in trouble or in danger and hired the local John Douglas to ferry him to Hasseround, convincing him to do so, one, by saying that he is a father too and appealing to his heart, and also $200 in cold hard cash, which by our day, I think that's like over $5,000, right? Or something like that.
I think so.
Yeah,
Somewhere in that
something
ballpark.
like that.
But no
Who
less
knows?
wholesome, I should say.
But no less wholesome. Hey, it could be both. It could be both.
For the
It's
fam.
$3,000.
I'm,
$3,000.
I am
3,800.
honorable and moved by family and money.
These two headed off towards the island where they were assailed upon by the same monster that took out our heroes in episode 1, woke up on a beach and found one Laura Turner with a slash across her neck that was now fully healed. In their final moments, we watched as several men made out of reeds launched themselves, running it. You know how there's like alien geometry in some like H.P. Lovecraft where it's like impossible to perceive? The room is a square but has 5 corners. They run like that. It is uncanny how they move, and it's as if the camera is moving towards them when they are getting closer. But we cut away from that. We found Chet and Elmer happily at church. Or maybe not as happily, as everyone muttered about fear and a preacher got up and started preaching a gospel. They got a wave from a strange critter outside, and we don't really know what that's about. And in the final moments, Chet prayed to the green and got their asses free from the pews as they had been stuck, while Elmer gave a passionate speech to the congregation of this fearful church. So we're going to have everyone on both sides roll initiative. This is going to be a challenge rating 4 initiative. The way initiative works in this game, like everything else, is they are trying to roll over a DC. It is a challenge rating 4, meaning that they need to roll over a 12. Now, does anybody have initiative as a skill or an ability to help them ease it? Elmer does. That'll bring it down to a 3. And this is a speed roll.
No.
No? Alrighty then. Why don't I get ready to write some junk down? Let's start with who passed?
I definitely passed. I got a 19, if that matters as well. We're back in the high rolling games, guys. This is where I shine.
Nice.
That will give you a little bit of something extra too. And I'll figure that out after the initiative. So, did anybody else roll above a 12?
I got a 13.
I did.
Okay, so Laura and John. All right, then. And then Chet and Vernon, I'm guessing you rolled under?
I got an 11.
Oh, so close.
I got a 13, but I do have an initiative and inability.
Incredible.
Wait, an initiative inability?
Yeah.
That probably means you automatically fail, maybe, right?
I think that means you automatically fail.
Oh, great.
That is how that works.
So good.
Or does it raise the
Because you have an
difficulty?
inability to see danger, right? That's what it
Yeah.
is. You
That's
cannot
danger and
roll
initiative.
initiative. So Chet will always fail initiative.
That's incredible.
That's terrible. I love it.
That is one of
Us
my
two together.
favorite things.
We're
That
plugging
is one
each
of my-
other's holes.
That is one of my
Right now.
No, big boy.
I gotta say, that is one of my favorite things I have seen in a tabletop RPG in a while, of you just always fail initiative. That's such a big part of these games. Okay, so the way that initiative works is those who rolled above can go in basically any order. Then the monsters, the haunts, the haints, everything in between, they all go. Then you guys go. In combat, you could do a movement and an action. So, let's see here. Elmer, you just gave a very impassioned speech to that congregation. Here's what I'm going to say with that 19 is that speech, that was just outside of your turn, meaning that you're still going to get your action and your movement. But with that speech, and this is going to be a challenge of 4, I'm going to need a persuasion check or something similar, if you think it's something else, to basically convince the people here to not be afraid.
I think persuasion works. Can I do something that is a part of that might like lower the difficulty a little bit?
Let's see here. You would need to spend effort or spend an asset in order to do that. You can also use your action on your turn to help each other if you would prefer to do that.
My goal is to still do persuasion, but the way that I want to go about doing it, seeing how I have a new action, I'm adding to the speech essentially of what I was doing. I would like to grab one of the Bibles and point to other passages within their own book that talk about like dispelling these thoughts of fear and the hope that's behind it.
Yeah, I mean, we're still learning the game, so I don't know if this is not the mechanics or if this is broken, but I'm going to say yes, you can ease it by 1 by doing that. So go ahead and roll, and then you'll have another action and a movement.
What is the difficulty?
The difficulty is 4. You have eased it by 1 to a 3. Roll above a 9.
And what is the stat that's linked to this?
This is going to be intellect.
Okay. I don't think I'm going to spend anything from my pool here just yet. So I have to beat a 9 with a difficulty 3.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 12.
Okay, great. You beat them. You see, you go up to this woman who is sitting next to you to the left. You open the book. You show her the passages while you're making this speech. And you see as her translucent skin becomes opaque. And she looks up at you and with hope in her eyes. And you feel that you have convinced one of these 10 people that they don't need to feel that fear. And now, since you rolled so well in your initiative, you're going to get another action.
Great. He's going to use his movement to get up next to the preacher, and he's going to stand next to him at the pulpit and say, "There is a light at the end. Not everything is darkness. This one here is bringing that darkness upon you. There is nothing to fear here. Make your way towards that light. That is where salvation lies, not within remembering the things that are holding you back."
I love it. All right, give me another roll. This time it is just going to be the challenge rating 4.
Okay, great. I don't think I'm going to spend from the pool just yet again, so difficulty 12 that I have to roll higher. Pull off. This time it's going to be a 6.
This time it's going to be a 6. You see one of those people in the audience look crestfallen suddenly, and they shake their head as you try and save them, but they fall deeper into their fear, and one of these has not been saved. Cutting back over to the beach, we have Laura and John. What I imagine here is that with the angles of everything, Laura, you were able to see past Vernon towards the reeds, and John, you were far enough that you're not the focus of them, but you are a close enough distance where you can get to them within one movement. So I think that's why you two have succeeded here, and Vernon is a little slow on the uptake, is just his back was turned. So Laura, John, whichever one of you wants to go first.
Sure. I think I'm going to use an ability, and I think I'm gonna shake the bones.
Ooh, what is shake the bones?
Your words are so powerful they cause the bones of a creature to shudder and shake, inflicting 2 points of might damage and 2 points of intellect damage. Your target must be able to hear and understand you, or at least understand the gist of what you're saying.
Okay, then. You're not entirely sure if these things can understand you. They are very clearly not human, but they are also humanoid shape. So you are welcome to try.
Okay, well, I have an edge in intellect, and it costs an intellect point, so I'm going to do it for free.
Therefore, it is for free. So, once again, I need to set the challenge rating, and you need to roll, or just simply...
Nope. It's just I do 2 points of might damage and 2 points of intellect damage.
Okay, then. All right, so there are 3 of them. We'll call them A, B, and C. A is the closest. Okay. B and C are tagging behind it, moving together. So which one did you do this to?
A is the closest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, A then.
A is just about to move on Vernon. What does this look like exactly? Are you saying something, or are you doing something specific with your hands?
Yeah, I kind of run up pretty close to Laura and Vernon, and I say, "Back, you hollow reed fragmighty bitch!
Oh, that's great.
Away with you, flammable son of a gun!"
That Reedmen, their head is just a bundle of reeds with some of the fragmity tips, arcing out the top of it, almost looking like hair. And you watch as its head still turns towards you, but it turns too far, as if it knows it needs to turn its head in order to look at you, but it doesn't quite comprehend how far it needs to turn its neck.
That's okay. I'm also failing to perceive their movement.
Yes, that was a great turn. You did 4 points of damage to it. You watch as little bits of the reed snap off as you do this. Laura, you are up.
So, being that Laura is fairly analytical and wants to be observant about what's going on before getting too involved, so I have this ability called See the Unseen, which I understand I automatically perceive the invisible. Is that something that's active all the time?
Oh, really now?
Oh,
what an
yes.
interesting ability. No, they are all perceived right now. That ability really aligns to seeing things that don't want to be seen.
Is there anything about them that I would see? That I wouldn't normally be able to see, either as his neck turns and the reeds part? Is there anything maybe inside?
They are
a
just
force or
strange bundles of grass.
Great. Incredible.
It's not a man in a mask, Laura.
Okay, well, I'm just making sure. So with that...
No, that's great.
Is it Laura or Hanna-Barbera?
Oh my god. Bad time to take a drink.
With that, I would like to go for the boat and see if I can find a loose plank of wood or something to use as an improvised weapon to maybe smack some of these guys off.
You last seen on this beach line right here, because again, these guys are on the beach in front of these fragmites. The water is lapping nearby. Shellings, you stood up from this boat and did not move away from it. And I'm just going to say it's a free action. Yeah, you see a plank of wood that you can freely grab. So that is going to be an improvised light weapon.
Great. Yeah, especially this one that has moved to close with us. I want to go ahead and smack it upside the head area, chest, something like that.
Yes. 1 second here. I want to double check the damage. Now, I'll open this up to the group. Does it feel like this plank of wood should be a light weapon or a medium weapon? I say light because it is not light. It's not like a professionally made baton or something like that,
Yeah.
But it has the same
fair.
bones of that. All right, so then we'll call it a light weapon. It's only going to deal 2 points of damage, but they ease the attack rolls because they are fast and easy to use.
Great.
So let's hear. That is going to be a challenge 4. It has been eased to a 3. It is going to be a might roll, or would this be a speed roll for you? It's just that only really applies with your narrative approach, as well as if you want to ease the effort, you can reduce one of those pools by 3 and ease that again down to a 2.
I think let's say speed, because this action is again, this reed monster kind of came in hot, so she's going to try and whip it, and then so I can reduce my pool by 3 to ease it. Okay.
To ease it, yeah.
Great.
Okay, so roll above a 6.
I got a 20.
Holy crap.
Okay. I really know my way around a plank of wood, I guess.
In combat, they have a specific amount of damage that is added on for a major effect. You snatch that, and I imagine that it's with one hand as this reed monstrosity moves again at this impossible speed, this movement like impossible geometry. You feel like you're going to get a nosebleed just looking at this thing as it moves. And also, they don't lift their legs when they run. They just simply drag in the sand.
Oh.
As you whip around with this plank of wood, and it slices through part of the reeds. You whip it so fast, this blunt object, and a bunch of the fray knocks out the other side, and it ends up sort of plopping back down on itself, and you can see as those fibers reweave together. But instead of 2 points of damage, you are going to do a whopping 6 points of damage.
Oh.
And that is your turn, and I believe that is everyone in the first half of our initiative. Let's start with the straw men. I am going to need first Laura, John, and Vernon to all make intellect defense rolls.
Well, I don't think I should have to because you're using a logical fallacy.
What?
You can't. It's an intellect roll, and you're rolling with straw men. You're
I
attacking.
see. No, I get it. That was really good. Seth does not need to roll. He is excused. Laura and Vernon are going to roll. There's challenge 4.
Okay. I got a 16 on my die.
You got a 16. You succeed. Vernon? That is a challenge of 12.
That's a challenge 12? Oh, it's a 13. I'm good. Yay.
Oh,
Yay.
both of you just make it. As one of the reeds starts vibrating and you hear this squealing sound as you realize it's the fibers of the reeds rubbing against each other, and this like shaking sound, almost like a maraca, like as you feel this energy waving you. John, you ignore it because it's a fallacy, but Vernon and Laura, you are not hindered. So both of you shake that off rather easily, and now they are each going to attack. So I am going to need, let's see here, I am going to need a defense roll from each one of you. Again, challenge rating 4. This will be might defense. Is anybody skilled in that?
I am skilled in might defense.
Or actually, John, you didn't move up, so I'm gonna say 2 attack Vernon, 1 attacks Laura.
I mean, I didn't like say an action to move up, but I did say when I was describing shaking the bones that I did move up.
That is true.
I can't tell you if I specified the distance.
Yeah, you feel as though these guys have as semi-level of intelligence to them that they know it's better to gang up on one of you at a time.
Okay, fair enough.
So 2 of them attack Vernon, 1 of them attacks Laura. So Vernon, I think that's going to... I can't remember if you make a defense roll. I think you make a defense roll for every attack they make? Or is it just the one? These guys attack twice.
I'm trained in discerning others' true motives.
I think they truly want to hurt you.
I think they truly want to kill you.
Damn. Oh, okay.
Oh, they actually do 3 attacks. God dang. Okay, then. All right. So, Laura, roll 3 times and let me know.
Me roll 3 times?
Roll 3 times, difficulty 4. Tell me how many times you succeed, how many times you fail, and feel free to ease it any way you like. I trust you. Yeah.
Well, I succeeded once and failed twice, but I don't think I can ease that. Those other rolls were too low.
Okay, that's great. So you succeed twice. You watch as it tries to rip at you with these strange straw arms.
I failed twice.
Okay, one of the arms comes in, you manage to block it. The other one slashes across you. You're going to take 2 points of might damage. And then its head moves forward, and you watch as it parts sideways, and the roots of the end of the plant suddenly shoot out and slam into the side of your shoulder and drink in a bit of your blood. So you are going to take 4 points of damage total.
Okay.
And that was Reed A, and you watch as that blood flows back into it, and a little bit of damage was healed. All right, then. Vernon, you needed to make 6 rolls.
Oh my god.
Now, that being said, while I'm trained in discerning others' true motives, I'm also trained in the lore of flesh-eating non-humanoid creatures, recognizing them, knowing
Yes,
their
you are.
weaknesses, and knowing their habits and behaviors.
Mm-hmm. Now, I don't fully know the rules, but I think that's going to allow you to ease this because, yes, fun aside here, I read that on your character sheet, and that's part of the reason why they have this ability. So good on you, Andrew.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that.
You know what, Andrew? Go ahead and take an XP. Mark that down on your sheet. I need to be giving out those more often anyway. Seth, you take one too for your logic fallacy joke. I really liked that. Listen, everyone did a great job last session. The rest of you also take an XP.
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah.
Do
Everybody
I
gets
compound
one.
that one?
No.
Damn.
So it's 5 rolls, you said?
So it's going to be 5 rolls, difficulty 3. Why don't you give them to me in order? Because I know where the bites will be. Actually, we'll just say the first 4. How'd you do on the first 4? How many successes, how many fails?
I got 4 successes.
4
Dang,
successes
dang.
total? Or just 4
successes and one
successes
fail.
on those first 4 rolls?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's success, fail, success, success, success.
Okay, so you only failed once.
Yeah.
Oh my god, so Vernon, years of training, you whip around, you see these, and you watch as one of them drinks a little bit of Laura's blood, and you know instantly how to react here. One of them manages to slash you, but you are moving purely on instinct. As you are deflecting blood and ducking, you do a little bit of roll in the sand despite your age. And you are only going to take 2 points of damage.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And then we are going to cut back over to the church. Inside the church, the preacher starts another sermon. He speaks on fear. I might be the darkness, but that is only because the light reigns over me, creating a deep shadow. Follow the path. Know what to fear, for it will misguide you. It is good. It is instinct. Hold on. You are but animals, and I, your shepherd. And I need each of you to make an intellect defense roll again, as well as you watch as another ghost automatically falls to the damned.
I mean, I don't know if you'll give me this, but will sensing danger ease this at all?
I think now that you are in the combat, no. I think sensing danger helps you not get surprised,
That's
and
fair.
you actually cannot be surprised by initiative, which is fun.
Great. I love it.
All right, the difficulty 4. Ease it if you want.
I got a 17, so I pass.
Total pass. Chet, how'd you do?
I got a 12.
You got a 12. That is the DC. I believe you succeed. Each of you are only going to take 1 point of intellect damage here.
Okay.
All right, Chet or Vernon, who wants to go first?
Hey, we're still in the church. Chet can go first.
All right, Chet. You kind of get the trajectory here. You need to convince people to not be afeared anymore. You can do that through any way that you want to. I would love to hear how you would approach that situation.
Yeah, I think Chet reacts slowly to this because he's just enamored by what Elmer is preaching. And like as Elmer reaches his first pause and goes up next to the priest and is trying to rally people, Chet like stands up and tries to do a slow clap and notices no one else is joining. Well, yeah, I think that this guy, pointing at the priest, is mean, and y'all should stop listening to evil priests because they just preach hate and fear. And that's not what the Bible, what the Lord wants. You ever, I look at the person next to me, you ever hear Jesus talk about fear? About how you should be afraid? I don't think so. I heard him talk about loving thy neighbor. I think we should all just be neighbors together. I don't care if you're a ghost. I don't care if you're a man. I care that you're here and you seem pretty cool. Preaching love, baby.
That was fabulous. I'm going to let you ease that by 1 for that great performance right there. So roll above a 9. And you can ease it, use assets, whatever else.
Yeah, I'm gonna ease that.
Okay, then. So I believe for you, you only have to spend 2.
Yep.
Oh, no.
The 1.
Oh,
It was a 1.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, no.
That's a wrap on Nate.
Yeah, Nate dies. He just explodes.
You should fear that.
Say hello to Chet's dad.
Jesus
I'm
exploded him.
very sorry, Chet. But
Kill me.
you give that speech and it just falls on deaf ears. The music and the humming swells a little bit too much towards the end there, and your message doesn't go through, and you see as another person becomes damned.
Oh, I think that didn't work right. Elmer, my bad.
All right. Vernon, we're back on the beach. We're away from the church now. You have 2 Reedmen up in your face.
So it's the 1920s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone smokes.
Sure.
Yes,
it's healthy.
Yeah.
I'd like to pull a lighter out of my pocket and set him on fire.
Amazing.
Oh my god.
Okay, then. So this is going to be sort of an improvised weapon. So it is just going to be a light weapon, but you are experimenting here, and we don't know if fire is going to do extra damage to them.
Well, I would, because I know their weaknesses.
You do know their weaknesses, and they do have a weakness to fire, and that's going to end up doing double damage to them. So you'll be able to do 4 points of damage.
Hell yeah.
All right, challenge 4.
And with an 18, I should be golden.
Hey.
That is golden. Very close.
Hell
to
yeah, Dad.
a major effect. Which one are you setting? Let's see here. I believe it was B and C are in front of you. A is in front of Laura and has taken extra damage. There's no attacks of opportunity in this game as far as I know. So you would be able to attack Reedman A if you wanted to.
Yeah, I think A is a good bet. I'll just say,
Okay,
as I'm
then.
kind of like dodging out of their line of attack, I kind of just get myself in a good like underhook position. As I reach in my pocket, pull out a lighter, stick my fist through its stomach, and set it alight.
Amazing. It, immediately as it just lights on fire, and you can hear once again those reeds rubbing together as it lets out another shrill call. You don't need to roll this time. And now you are basked in the glow. The other Reedmen don't seem to react at all to their brethren being lit on fire. No emotion is shown other than this scream that is being let out. And with that, we come to the end of our first round of initiative. Great job, everybody!
Yay.
All right, and on to round 2. Elmer, Laura, John, who would like to go first?
Hell yeah.
We're on the beach,
All
so
right.
feel free to take it.
All right, John.
All right. Okay. I guess, Laura, did you want to go first?
I'll smack him with the board again.
Okay, go ahead and roll. You are attacking number A, who is now on fire.
I mean, yeah, I should focus A until he's done, right? Or will the fire continue to burn him? All right, we're just gonna
We'll see.
let's see what this is. Okay, so I have a 10 on the die, but that does it help that he's on fire?
Well,
Should I ease that?
No, the fire won't ease it, but I believe using the light weapon eases it down to a 9. So I believe you
Oh,
still
great.
succeed, right? Yeah.
Wonderful, yes.
So, yeah, it hits. You're going to do 2 points of damage, and it exactly had 2 points of damage.
Yay!
Hell
There we go.
yeah.
Oh, wait, I always forget what my phrase is for when you guys end enemies. So why don't you give me a good old bit of that whoop ass?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think after the last swing where Laura, whipped the board through it in the first place, now that Vernon set it on fire, why not do it again? So on the backswing, just comes back around and shoves the board into its head, just obliterating it. And more so actually maybe coming down on top of it so it like splits the whole thing in half.
Oh, brilliant. It just
breaks it apart.
It explodes out into its individual reeds and they fall to the beach. The wet sand snuffing out some of the flames, but otherwise they continue to burn. It's not a large fire, and when the reeds burn, they don't generate a ton of flames on their own, so a very small fire down on the beach. And then next up will be, I believe, John. What you got?
Hell yeah. I would. He's still made of reeds and he's still on fire, right? Even though he's dead.
The on fire reeds are now on the beach, yes, but he is, as far as you could tell, dead and gone. Okay.
I'd like to kick the on fire reeds with my rubber boots at B.
Yeah.
And
okay.
At the same time, I'd like to take a swig of my moonshine flask and spit it like Triple H into the flames.
Hell yeah, dude.
There we go.
So this is an asset of yours.
In a way that's like really good at atomization. And I think because I'm a speaker, I'm good with my mouth.
Yep.
Hell yeah,
so by
dude,
using
with
an
that
asset, you are going to ease this roll by 1. And by using the fire, you're going to increase the damage by 2. This is still just going to be an improvised weapon, but it'll become 4 points of damage. Right now, it is a challenge 3, which is a DC of 9.
Okay. And I'd like to use an effort. Are we making this a might or speed?
It can be might or speed.
I'd like it for it to be speed.
Okay.
And so I'm taking 3 speed, and I'm going to ease that with some effort. And now I'm rolling. So what do I need to roll now?
Roll the d20. You're going to roll above a 6.
Okay, cool. That's a 14.
That's a 14. Fire all over it. It squeals out again, and it takes 4 points of damage. Nicely done, guys. Nicely done. Let's see here. And then we go back over to the church. Elmer, you stand in front of the podium with this strange, ghostly priest. He doesn't seem to be trying to get rid of you. He is just preaching next to you. So what do you do?
Continuing on, just with this back and forth between us, Elmer says, "You may claim to be the shepherd amongst these sheep, but I see you for what you are, a wolf, and I am one who has been around the wolves. I have seen the creatures that bring us down, that bring our souls down. Amongst the mountains up in Appalachia, there are many horrible haints and haunts that walk the lands, and I see another one here amongst you. And I can tell you from my own experience that people can move on without fear. And I am going to attempt to use one of my abilities here to call forth a spirit, one that can speak of their own experiences."
Oh,
Fabulous.
Shit.
So what is the cost for this ability?
It's 2 intellect. It's called Question the Spirits, and I might as well call one that is friendly to me. I am going to call Willie Hodges to the stand.
You're calling Willie?
I'm going to
You're
call Willie.
calling Willie? Oh.
Oh man, he got your ass.
One of the reasons that I'm calling Willie, not only because he is somebody who probably has a better experience from the afterlife than these people, but also I either need to have some physical part of them or be able to name them fully. I need to have some connection to them. So I'm choosing Willie here because the other person I would call is not somebody I can actually call for other reasons. But we're going to go ahead and call Willie.
All right. Willie appears. Willie, you are confused but filled with purpose that Elmer has beseeched upon you through this summoning, as if You know what to say in this moment, but it doesn't make it any less jarring to you.
The man speaks truths. I've seen many a thing out in Appalachia. Things far more frightening than what we hear today, but it's not worth being frightened of. You can't live your life cowering. There's a whole big world out there. And you gotta take it by the nards.
I am going to say no roll necessary. That was fabulous. And you see another one of the ghosts turn their head up, eyes full of hope. And now you have 2 saved, but 3 damned. So we are going to move to... We are moving to the enemies. So once again, Elmer, Chet, intellect defense roll, go. Trying to roll above a 12 unless you can ease it. I trust you to ease it on your own.
19.
19.
Hey, twins.
Oh,
There we go.
My God. Since you both got a 19, if you'll allow me, I'm going to pull that together. I feel like we'll do a little hench here. They become a major success.
Hey!
Yay!
I'm here for it.
As once
allow that.
again, the preacher spits out this vitriol. No, no, no. Listen not to this man who has clearly strayed from the path of the righteous and the true. That which is buried, that which is gone must be feared, for it was not worthy of being with us. And as he spits out that vitriol, you see that his voice lands on ears of everyone here, and of the person that was supposed to be damned. That person instead looks to you, Elmer, to you, Chet, to you, Willie, and they are saved. So now it is 3 damned, 3 saved.
Yeah,
Up
there we
yours,
go.
buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Back on the beach, the Reedmen continue their assault. I'm going to say one of the Reedmen. Yeah, and Laura, you killed one of the... God damn, all of you did so much to them.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is going to continue to... I think it's going to be the same before, Laura and Vernon. So, Laura, roll 3 defenses and let me know in order, and Vernon, roll 3 defenses and let me know in order. All right, how'd it go?
My sound give it away?
Because it all fails?
Well, no. Fail, success, natural 1.
Incredible. So that's Reedman B on you. You are first going to get slashed for 2 points of damage. So with damage, maybe I didn't explain this to people, you're going to be reducing that from your might pool unless it is intellect or directly speed damage. But health, physical health, is always going to come from your might pool first. And when that reaches 0, you become hindered. And then so on and so forth. And the way that you actually die in this game is all 3 pools are reduced to 0.
Hindered or impaired?
Sorry, impaired. Impaired. There are 3 levels to it. I cannot remember off the top of my head right now. Vernon, how'd you do in order?
Fail, success, fail.
Incredible. Laura, once for both, you are going to take 2 points of slashing, and then each of you are going to have those roots nail into you. Laura, for you, they go straight into your neck where your scar is. And you observe as it drinks back, not red like your blood when it drew from your shoulder, but this sickly green color that is viscous. And you see as the Reedman pulls back and drinks from that, it changes slightly, and you see parts of it harden. And almost as if it has a little bit of armor now.
What? Oh, no.
Cool.
Vernon, it is going to... That one hasn't taken any damage, so it actually doesn't heal up, but you're going to take 2 points of that. So each of you are going to take 4 total.
Great. My might is now at 0.
Okay, then. So, with that, you are going to check off, I believe, impaired. Since one of your pools is at the bottom, you +1 effort per level. Ignore minor and major effect results on rolls. Combat rolls of 17 to 20 deal only +1 damage. So things get a little bit harder for you. Alrighty then, moving along, we are at the bottom of our order here. That is going to be, we're on the beach, so why don't we have Vernon go?
Once again, I'll grab that lighter and just bring it towards the reed.
Okay.
Hell.
So go ahead, roll. You're going to ease it by 1 because of your knowledge. So roll above a 9.
14.
14. You deal 4 points of damage to the one directly in front of you, or to Reed B that has taken some damage?
The one directly in front of me, I think.
Okay, then you deal 4 points of damage and set him on fire. Once again. Oh, I meant to have you all roll another intellect defense. You know what? I missed it.
Again, I'm happy to.
Nope. I missed it. That's on me, not on you guys. All right, and then we're going to cut over to Chet.
Okay, I want to pull out a couple cups and a gallon of moonshine.
A gallon.
Oh my god, a gallon of moonshine. Wow.
Yeah, and I would like to start pouring some moonshine into cups and handing them to these ghost people around me.
All right, that's going to ease the roll by 1.
This man, he preaches to you that you should fear and hate that which is gone. But, man, my Meemaw's gone. I love her. Haven't you ever lost someone or something that you really loved? I mean, that's what keeps us going, is the knowledge that we bring forth that they've taught us. Love, everybody. We're here for love, not for hate.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. You're going to ease it by 1 because of the moonshine and that great speech. Roll above a 9. You got this.
Ka-chow! That's a 20.
Hey!
Yeah.
Let's go, Chet.
Oh my god, Chet, that is a
Incredible.
major
Moonshine
success. You hand a cup to one person and you watch their eyes lift up and look at you. Again, their skin going opaque. And their eyes are full of hope. And you turn to another and their eyes are already looking up at you as you save 2 at the same time.
Yes.
You now have saved more than half of the room. But before anything else, we're going to cut over to the beach. Laura and John, who's going first? You got 2 in front of you. They seem pretty low on health.
Am I restrained?
You are not restrained,
Okay.
but you are impaired.
Yes. I'll just make this quick. I don't know. There's no opportunity attacks or anything for moving away, is there?
There is not.
There's not. Okay. Yeah. So Laura will pull back and just with everything that's going on, it's very overwhelming for her. She's tried to peer into these creatures to see if they're just men who've covered themselves in reeds, but there's just too much going on between dying and having her neck slashed to being woken up on the beach to all of this going on. I think this kind of brings this, I don't know, builds this energy within her, and I would like to use this time to engage Charm Touch on myself, which is a healing roll, essentially.
Okay.
Basically, I touch to restore 1d6 stat points, difficulty 2. To do
Okay,
so.
great. So go ahead, roll. You need to get above a 6.
Easy peasy, that's a 10.
Perfect. Roll a d6.
Oh, great, 4.
4. Okay. You can put that all into might, or you can divide that out. But I believe that'll remove the impaired effect.
I
on
will
you,
be putting it
if you
into
do so.
might. And yes, I believe it does remove impaired.
All right, that is your turn. John, you're up.
Okay. We've got 1 straw man left.
2 strawmen. Reed B, who's doing a little bit better than Reed C, and B seems to have like a little bit of armor to him. It's almost as if the reeds have like tightened against him and have a little bit of a shiny coating to them now.
B is also on fire.
B is also on fire.
Okay. what is a good action here? I am going to say to Vernon, that one's got a little bit of more confidence than the other ones. I think he's got some kind of armor. You're gonna need a little bit more firepower. And then I throw my flasks to them, and I'm using the ability Good Advice.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
And it's a 1 intellect point. I'm using my intellect edge to basically pay that cost. And I think your next task is going to be eased.
Groovy.
Okay, then. That is fabulous. Then we move to Elmer. Elmer, you stand at the front of that church and you see more people saved than damned now as they look up to you, eyes full of hope. The entire congregation stands, even those who are damned. You watch as the ones who were saved place an arm around the ones who cast down as their eyes then look up. And those people, they stand up and they start moving on that priest in the front. As he's shouting more and more vitriol, they just simply reach up and pull him down. And in a moment, you are standing in the burned husk of a church. With no people around you. This church must have burned down 40, 50 years ago. It is worn down by weather. Rafts of dried reeds fill various corners. And Elmer and Chet, you two are out of combat, and you see something lying on that pew that is now sideways. A small Bible with a piece of paper sticking out the side of it. And we will come back to you guys once we finish our other half of combat.
All right.
The Reedmen attack once again. Let's see here. John, one is going to move on you, so go ahead and roll 3 defense. Vernon, roll another 3 defense.
I keep hearing it
Okay,
like Flight
and
of the
I have
Valkyries. Attack of the Reedmen, attack of the Reedmen.
I'm trained in might defense tasks.
Oh, perfect. So this is all going to be a difficulty 3 for you, as well as Vernon. So each of you just need to roll above 9s, and let me know in order. Vernon?
Okay.
But I can't speak. Seth eased something from me before. Would that count for this?
That's going to be for combat, not for this.
Damn.
Yeah. I said task, but I meant attack.
Damn. If only. Success, fail, fail.
Success, fail. So this is Reedman C. You are going to take 4 points of damage, and you watch as that Reedman heals a little bit. Its feet dragging on the grass as it moves impossibly fast, and it's very hard to dodge out of the way. And even when you block, sometimes those reeds slice along your arms.
Ah, shit.
How you doing health-wise?
I could be better.
Could be
Still
better.
got a little pep in
All
my
right.
step.
John, let me know what you got.
10.
Your successes and your fails.
Oh. How many things I have to roll?
3 times, roll above a 9 and let me know them in order. So,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
success.
So
fail, fail.
one is a success.
Success,
Success.
success,
Fail.
fail. Bad to fail on the last one. You're going to take 2 points of damage, and that Reedman is going to heal by 1, but then they are going to take 2 points of fire damage.
Hell yeah.
So, didn't really heal that much. And now we are on to Vernon's turn.
I'm gonna douse the beefcake in front of me. Well,
Okay?
Beefcake?
That's Reedman C. He is not on
the
fire
reed
yet.
cake. And now I'll light him on fire.
Like
All right, so
Impossible
you are
Burger.
going to ease that. You're going to ease this roll by 2. Roll above a 6.
God, I hope I can.
God, I hope I get it. I hope I get it.
Natural 20, baby.
Holy
What? We are.
crap.
What? This
I
is
fell
crazy.
into a burning ring of fire.
That song's not out yet, is it?
You
Vernon wrote it.
line up, if you don't mind me narrating, I think you throw that flask just as you flick the lighter, making the entire stream of alcohol light up and it doesn't just land on one of them, but it lands on both of them. The flames bypassing that guy's armor, and you instantly vaporize both of them. Now just a pile of reeds on the ground, smoldering in smoke. The three of you stand there, panting, covered in various cuts and, not bruises, but just bleeding cuts, as the wind rustles through those reeds.
What was that? What was that?
Well, depends on who you ask. But, I'm going to pull out my journal. That is... You can tell that I've somehow managed to add more papers into it over the years. As I'm looking through a catalog, essentially, of different haints and creatures that I have encountered in my fieldwork.
You've encountered creatures of the green before, collections of plants, but they don't normally attack unprovoked like this. You haven't done anything to damage their home directly, nor did you attack them. They attacked you rather viciously and mindlessly.
Striking first. All right. Huh. Not the way that's supposed to go.
I think when you look at Laura right now, when she stepped back from the combat, she has dropped her plank of wood and she stands there like knees broken inward, like hands shaking as she looks at her palms. You'll notice that, like, even though, like, you saw her injected with these reeds several times, some of them look smaller, as if they have been healed somehow, but it doesn't seem to be really clear how. And she kind of just looks down in her shaking palms and looks up at you guys.
All right. Settle down, settle down.
What
You're good.
is going on?
What's going on is you're touched by spirits.
Excuse me? What do you mean?
I mean, I've never seen a wound closed like that without sign of the divine.
A wound? And she touches around her neck where the most invasive of the injections were and feels that they're smaller. It was green. What they pulled from my neck, it made them stronger. Look, if I'm okay, then maybe the others are still okay out there somewhere.
I'd like to hope so, but hey, settle down now. Things work a little differently out here.
Maybe we go look.
Do you have an open mind?
What?
Do you have an open mind?
She doesn't say anything. Her head just shakes. No, just very confused.
Here, take this. I'm going to hand the journal to her. Read through it. I can tell you right now, everything in that book is real. I've seen it myself. I've written these notes myself over many years. Get numb to it. It makes it easier.
She flips through it, seeing some things that she recognizes and has perhaps like researched before. Not everything, of course, but like a page or two. And she just looks at it and goes, I've debunked several of the things in this book. She closes it and she hands it back to you.
Debunked.
And this all will be debunked again.
Debunked again.
There's a reason for everything.
Vernon smiles a little bit as he starts to unbutton his front shirt buttons and pulls it open just a little bit, not fully, but enough to see that his chest is practically just skin stretched over chop meat.
Okay, it's less hot now.
Of just years and years of like scars and broken
Getting
bones.
hotter.
Man, well, if it's all debunked, I guess I should be asking questions to my doctor now, shouldn't I?
You know, I'm not the most well-spoken, but I think the only thing I've heard being debunked is a bed.
John, I like you.
Laura Steer turns from Vernon to John, and she just shakes her head more. Look, if we can find the others, then I would like to find them, okay? We have to figure out what's going on.
Well, certainly. That's the anticipation. That's kind of what we're going for here.
With that right there, I think the only way forward for you guys is either back into the water or through the reeds.
Bruh. I don't want to do either of those things. That would be a no from both. But perhaps the reeds are less scary because we defeated those things. Looking out over the reeds, can we see any kind of civilization or anything? Are they just too high or?
They are high enough. You can see far in the distance a small glade of trees just gently cresting over top, far in the distance. But otherwise, no, you can't even tell how far along how deep this pocket of reeds will be.
Any suggestions?
Okay. Well, we do have two options. Number one, we can go to a town of unsavory people with so much xenophobia it comes out their ears. Or two, we could go to the lighthouse and try and signal for help, but that will probably be overrun by some sort of terrible beastie.
What? No. No. What?
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 Well,
One of the
John.
Reedmen ducks back into the Frag Buddies.
wait, I don't understand. Are you giving me a note or should I be?
No, that was me being a shithead.
Okay.
It was funny too.
Because it sounded so genuine, like, no, stop that.
No, stop that. No. All right. So do you guys head through the reeds?
Well, John, I consider myself a people person, so I'd like to take my chances there.
Yeah, I was afraid you'd say that. Okay. Well, the only way to Willow's Grove is inland. So, if I take out my compass here, say we follow that there direction. It should be good to go.
And you all head off, ducking into those tall reeds. At times you almost lose each other. They are so dense and tall as the light gently crests down over the evening sky and we enter twilight in the marshlands. Chet and Elmer, you are standing in this burned out church. Oh, real fast. John, Laura, Vernon, did any of you search the Reedmen pile, that pile of burning?
I think I would have.
Okay.
I would have
then.
stayed away from it.
You find a woven charm made out of the grass, and we'll come back to that later. But you quickly pocket that. Elmer and Chet, which one of you took the book that was lying in front of you?
I think what Elmer does after the preacher gets dragged down and they all disappear and the entire facade kind of disappears. Elmer stands again at the head of the church here and then steps down, going over to each one of the pews and places a penny down in each seat that these people were sitting in.
I love that so much that I'll come back to on it, but there will be a boon for that.
And after he places the last one down, he looks towards Chet and says, "I'm sorry, Chet. Guess I was wrong. You do know how to talk to people."
Thank you. That's really nice, Elmer. You really stepped up there, and that was really impressive. You out-preached that preacher, and it was really cool. You should get one of those collars. I think you kind of earned it.
I do believe they sell them at the Five and Dime. But no, it's not my first time dealing with the spirits who can't quite pass. In fact, there's... I won't be done for a while, I'm sure, either.
Can I ask you? You summoned Willie. Could you feel that the others were dead as well?
It's not as much of a feeling as it is, just something that happens. I have a little control over it, but Willie was what the situation called for, and Willie's the one who showed up. I don't know if the others are gone or not, and even if they are, sometimes they're not so easy to call back.
So that was kind of a one and done?
I don't know. Maybe he'll come back to us. Maybe not, but I think we should maybe try and at least search for the other two. At the very least, find their bodies.
And as you say that, over Chet's shoulder, there is a line of phragmites that stretches far off into the distance. And you see stumbling out of those phragmites is a much older-looking Willie Hodges with no ghostliness to him. Dressed slightly different, and then falling out behind him is who you would only recognize as Laura and what looks like a waterman or some sort of local.
Oh, good. Tourists. I thought they'd be locals.
Laura! Oh, God. You're all right. And
Elmer? Chet?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're alive. I can't believe you're alive. She would run to and embrace you if you would accept it.
Bound across the marshy plains, these knee-high grasses that are snaked with small waterways and pockets of holes. You carefully bounce along them, having to almost skip as you two embrace each other outside of this burned-out church.
Mr. Fink, good to see you out from behind the desk. Wish it were better circumstances.
It's a pleasure to see you again, sir.
Pleasure's all mine. Sirs aren't necessary out here. And is that Janie's grandson?
Hi, I'm Chet. It's a pleasure to meet
Good
you,
to
sir.
meet you, Chet. Vernon Hodges. This gentleman here behind us is John Douglas. Help us out mighty much.
Yeah, I don't know what business y'all find yourselves in, but it's no wonder that you turned south. Y'all stick out like sore thumbs. But now you got the marshland on you, maybe it'll go a little bit better.
As you say that, and this church was completely surrounded by low grasslands that make up the majority of these marshes. And Laura, earlier you spotted a veil of trees, a small pocket of sugar pines. These straight, narrow trees that shoot up 100 feet and have a single canopy. The church was surrounded by only grasslands. But you all look up from seeing each other and see that there is now a veil of trees surrounding half of the church, before you notice a pocket in those trees almost moves aside, and a path going into those dark woods opens, as if welcoming you all in. And we'll see everybody next week.
What?
Oh my God.
Oh boy.
Oh my God.
Thank you all for sticking around for a little bit of a longer episode, so let's get through these plugs quick. Nate!
Hi, what's up, internet? I'm Nate. I've been Chet. If you want to check out more of me, check out Escape the Dungeon podcast or Starcrawl RPG on Twitch. I play in a bunch of different games there. Urban Shadows, Common Villainy, the Wander Home, other stuff that I can't think of right now. Thirsty Sword Lesbians, they're all fun. You should check it out. Popcorn Rachel.
Me. Hi everyone. Yeah, like I said last week, if all is going in ship shape, you guys can check out Game Master Monday for an episode that just dropped on their podcast today, playing May You Fish in Interesting Times. You can also check out the Folk and Myth YouTube channel for some Vampire the Masquerade content, VTM Montreal. I've been in a couple of things recently, notably Pyramid and Cardinal Rule. But you should check out all the things that they do over there, and tell them that you stopped by and say hello. And then finally, of course, you can check out my personal social medias if you don't know them already at Rachel Kordell and Majora's Rose on Twitch. Popcorn Kizzy.
Go check out Homie and the Dude over at hatdbuilder.com, where you can find some of their amazing RPG accessories, I suppose. Accessories isn't the right word. Supplements, that's the real word.
That's the word.
They have the Wandering Tavern, if you like Studio Ghibli-inspired things. We have Sky Zephyrs, which has big zeppelins and things like that. And then on top of that, there is also their Kickstarters that are coming up, including the one for Scorched Basin, which is kind of like Mad Maxi of a sort. So you can check out their Kickstarter for that. But if you want to get their content, go over to their website and you can enter code RPGesters to get 20% off, and we get a little kickback from that as well. So you're supporting our show and you're supporting amazing creators over there. You can also check out my personal social medias at Casey_Reardon and check out our own website where you can find our own merch over at rpgesters.com.
Whoop, whoop.
Popcorn, over to Seth.
Popcorn Sky.
Oh my god, leave us, are you confused? Leave us a review, because I'm confused too. 5 stars, please. No, bad, Andrew, bad. That's gonna be dead in like a week. By the time this comes out, that's gonna be terrible.
It's terrible now.
It's terrible now. All right, Popcorn, who hasn't gone yet? Popcorn, Andrew.
You know what? I've been sitting here for the last hour, or hour and like 10 minutes or so. I mean, time has no meaning here in the conference room. And no one has commented on the spiffy hoodie I'm wearing.
Oh,
I can't.
That's because I'm in the closet.
That's fair. That's fair.
I removed my eyes so I could narrate better. That way, then everything comes to me visually.
You
I
have a
removed
torso?
my eyes because the
Describe
good
the
Lord
hoodie
said
to us,
to,
Andrew.
because I was coveting my neighbor's wife.
That's good. That's good.
Oh.
Well, this hoodie I'm wearing, the brand new hench hoodie.
The Luke hoodie.
Look at it. It's comfortable. It's good material. It breathes, but also keeps the warmth in. It's great. And I got it on rpgesters.com in our merch section.
Wow.
Incredible.
Wow.
And look here. There's sweatshirts for all your favorite henchmen. We got Stan, we got Pulsar, we got Spectra, we even got Lucas here. Wow.
Yeah, number
And look at these
216.
mugs.
Heck yeah.
Gee whiz. That's
Yeah.
totally tubular.
Faces.
So hop on to rpgesters.com and get your hench merch. And get merch for all of our other shows.
Like what?
Like what? Well, we got stuff for Power in the Dark, Midnight Gravity. We got General RP Jesters merch.
Those are 2 shows.
Those are 2 shows. And we got more coming. We always have things in the pipelines. So give us
What
a
about
look.
Into the Whalestrom?
Get some neat pins.
I don't think we have merch for that.
Shit.
I can't wait until we start selling reeds.
What
I know.
if we just
Just
get
gonna
cans
sell
of Chef
invasive
Boyardee? Wait, guys, we get cans of Chef
Invasive
Boyardee and we relabel them for spaghetti. So
There
People
you go.
have bamboo.
There
You know
you
how
go.
people have bamboo.
Kill.
Like,
That's a great
forks?
partnership.
Oh my
We
God.
should contact them.
I would kill to sell official RP Jesters spaghetti.
One day. And you can
Oh my
help
God.
us achieve that dream.
Through
In the
our
meantime,
Blah, 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 blah. I'm drowning, Mr. President. Perish.
Things are wrong. Trained things that should not